Akademiks can't ride no wave.
Chat GPT, artificial intelligence, cause your mind artificial. That's why your life artificial. You hide behind a fake profile cause your life fake, your soul fake. You understand? From the old school, man. Born 1969.
Talk about it.
I grew up in the 1970s, 1980s, man.
Yeah.
We didn't stay in the house. You went outside every day. Went outside every day. Play tackle football every day. Kill a man with the ball every day.
Hold on, we try to get some details. We're gonna read it in court. I seen some details about what happened in court today. A lot of drama. The judge thinks that somebody's leaking info to the press, but the judge don't know if it's the defense or the prosecutor.
This is not how a relationship works. Then Puffy's attorney asked her, why did you send that?
Hold on. Let's just start.
They going back, Tenny Garagos got some other forensic person on the stand. How you doing?
Hi.
You want to say hi to my people on YouTube?
Yeah, what are
Check
you?
them out.
What are you?
I'm on YouTube.
Yeah.
Come here, stay right here.
Yeah.
Stay right here, stay right
Are
here.
you saying for Jesus Christ?
Huh?
Are you talking about Jesus Christ?
Nah, I ain't talking about Jesus Christ.
We talking about Lucifer, Diddy.
YouTube, come here. Come on. What's up, bro?
How you doing?
All right. What's up, man? All right, all right. They got some forensic lady on the stand. Tenny Garagos is crossing town. It's nonsense, man. They're going over the same information we went over with Cassie, and that brought me back. And that's why I want to go back to.
So I'm gonna rewind a little bit. So the drama. By the way, I have another coffee upstairs. I'm about to go get it. My voice sounding better already, right? It's something about hot liquid. Pause. That made my voice sound better. I don't even think it's just a ginger tea.
She created a flowchart of text messages between.
Right here.
On just seen earlier that they were saying that the judge was unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the prosecution was the one who leaked it.
Here we go.
Breeze, what up? So listen,
Here we go.
we got more problems down here. A lot of issues going on. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I'm down here in the federal court. Right on the other side. That building right there. Y'all can't see it right there, but that building back there. You can follow me on Instagram, The Podcast Was Sold, and you can follow me on Spotify, The Podcast Was Sold, Sunshine Journey. I want to thank everybody that's been following. Share this video. So much gossip going on. It's so much gossip going on down here. I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. Lovely Peaches, what up? I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. There's probably another problem with another juror. Somebody said there's a problem with 2 more jurors. The judge is mad. Either the prosecution or the defense leaked some information they wasn't supposed to leak. Juror number 6 got kicked off. You understand? It's a lot going on as we get closer to the end of the case.
Now, what's really happening, chat, is that, okay, let me try to explain this to you, right? Now, both sides, honestly, both sides are leaking info. They're both leaking info. Real talk. But not really leaking info. They're presenting info selectively. It's federal court, and the way how the docket has been working, they're not putting everything in the docket. Certain things you got to go down there and request. So what's happening is, and I'll be honest with y'all, because, you know, y'all my fam. Like, for example, this, right? So, look, I'm going to log in. Oh, let me remove my thing off here. I'm going to log in. And this is a file with all due respect, that's from Diddy's team. So all them exhibits, remember when I was going through transcripts? That's Diddy's team that have allowed certain journalists access. This is from Diddy's team. You can even see it. Look, last modified. I don't know who. That's probably Paralegal. But if you go back here, you'll see T. Garagos. That's Tenny Garagos who uploaded this. But this is from their PR company, honestly. This is from their PR company. This is nothing that's secret or nothing like that. I want to be transparent with y'all. Diddy's team is going to, they realize that since people aren't in court, they're going to help the press to find certain shit that might be juicy, salacious, that they can run. That's why I've also realized they don't put nothing that helps Cassie in this. Nothing. So look, I could go to 612. What's 612? What's this?
We should.
Oh, shit. No, I've never seen this before. So I guarantee this is going to help Diddy. Here we go. But here's the thing. Because Diddy's team is going to put the voice notes that help him, the government starts to put out their own shit. They'll send it to TMZ. They'll send it to this. So the government is playing PR too. This is chat. This is as much a battle in court as it outside of court. So Diddy's PR is working, and the Fed's PR is working. Why? They need people to believe that there's actually a case. Because Diddy's team is putting out the stuff to say, y'all really think they charge this nigga for a valid reason? So the government is trying to put out stuff to say, look at this. You don't think this nigga should deserve to be in jail? The judge don't like it. Because somebody, and I don't know who, it's either the feds or Diddy's team, they put out something that's sealed. Now I know for some of y'all will be like, yo, you're a snitch. This is not snitching. Like, this is a thing. You got to be preferred media to have this. I'm obviously one of them. The point is, if nothing in this should be sealed. If you put something in this thing, because it's not only me that have access to it. If you put something in this sealed, you're breaking court orders. So I'm pretty sure nothing in this is sealed, unless they're super stupid, which Diddy got to fire them. So I think they leaked something to maybe TMZ, like, yo, take this. You ain't get it from me, though. Because this is a public thing for preferred media. You get what I'm saying?
You should really just focus on, at the end of the day, what will make you get better. What do you want?
You see? This is a voice note that helps Diddy. Diddy's basically saying, yo, I'm trying to help you. What will make you feel good? Let's work this shit out. So again, this as I said, like the stuff we're getting, and I understand it, and I want to be transparent to y'all because I don't want y'all to think I'm biased when I really don't give a fuck. I always tell people, like, I'm gonna win regardless. I'm gonna just cover the case. People gonna come here. I have my own POV, but I ain't gonna let it get in the way of really neutral coverage. So this is a Diddy portal that his team gave to me. The feds don't have no portal. The feds gonna leak it to you on some low shit. So the feds leak too. They both, it's not even leak because, so honestly, even this audio, you're gonna be able to get it, but you can't get it from the online document. Everything in the docket is on Pacer. You can't get it on Pacer. You gotta go to the court to request it. You get what I'm saying? Because nobody's gonna do that, Diddy's team gives supplemental stuff. Hey, yo, we play this in court. You can have it. They're not gonna give us the stuff that the government played in court. So you know what the government does? Oh, all right, we gonna leak it our own way. Yo, Harvey, check your email, gang. We don't know how you got that. Which, by the way, kind of comes back to, how did that Cassie video get leaked? So the judge this morning, he's starting to see certain stuff. There was certain stuff that was under seal. You know when I've been talking about court and they say, yo, turn the screens off, blah, 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 blah. We're going to present this. Only the jurors can hear. Turn the monitors off. People got to put on headphones, whatever. It's because it's not supposed to be known by the public. Somebody leaked something that was sealed, and the judge is livid. This wasn't sealed, though.
We should really just focus on, at the end of the day, what will make you get better. What do you want me to do to make you feel better? What do you want me to give you? How can we get to a solution so we can move on? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a relationship like this. I don't want to make nobody feel like this. Let's get to the solutions on how, in a graceful, beautiful, loving way, you know what I'm saying, in this cycle, move on with your life so you don't feel like I wasted your life.
Wow. Okay. So I think that was to Jane. He was basically sending a message to say, and this is before Jane asked for $400,000. Remember? Because remember, the difference between Cassie and Jane is that when Jane threatened to leave, Diddy, most of all, would say, go. With Cassie, he would never say go. He might have cussed her out, beat her, but he would have people watch her. He would have people, when she stopped talking to him, he would have people go get her. He would pop up on her. He would just go into her crib. Diddy never wanted Cassie to go. But Jane, he would tell her, hey, listen, if this ain't working for you, you don't like the fact that I got other women, you don't like A, B, C, and D, you could go. And, oh, you say I'm holding things. By the way, this might have been after when Diddy had caught the lawsuit, where Diddy is saying, hey, I don't want you to feel like this is forced. Let's figure out something where you could go your way happily and I could go my way. Let me play it again.
We should really just focus on, at the end of the day, what will make you get better? What do you want me to do to make you feel better? What do you want me to give you? How can we get to a solution so we can move on? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a relationship like this. I don't want to make nobody feel like this. Let's get to the solutions on how, in a graceful, beautiful, loving way, you know what I'm saying, in this cycle, move on with your life so you don't feel like I wasted your life.
Okay. All right. So all this is, exhibits. And by the way, these are admitted exhibits, so they're not sealed. Well, admitted exhibits could be sealed, but no one will put it up if they're sealed. Let me see. Is there any more audio? Oh, we got more audio. Oh my God. How did I didn't see this? I'll be checking this shit out every day. Here we go.
Shit, so if you come in for 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some shit up. So now you got the opportunity. So set some shit up.
So that was Diddy talking to 50's baby mom saying, basically, they played this audio to say, the Freakoffs was her idea too, these Wild King nights. So he's telling her, you always wanted to do your thing and show me how much you fuck with me. Go ahead, you do it. I ain't gonna set nothing up. So basically showing that Jane Doe was setting up Freakoffs too.
Tomorrow night, that last vision we had was Dawn and ATL.
This is after she proposed a all-star Freakoff. Chat, hoeing has gotten too advanced for me now, chat. These bitches creating all-star games. They got off-season. Well, actually, we never heard about an off-season, but we heard about all-star games. They're treated like a regular NBA season. Yo, who you want for the all-star Freakoff? Y'all want the slam dunk balls contest? What?
See, you put it together, baby.
Oh, shit.
So if you come...
Here we go.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe.
Oh, my God. Why did he sound like a coach? This is Shea Gillichrist's coach after last night. You done beat that nigga Halliburton's ass. Rest up. Put some ice on them knees. Go hit the sauna. Tomorrow you got an off day. And tomorrow let's do a walkthrough and beat these niggas' ass again.
That's my new name for you, crack pipe.
Oh, my God.
Or should I call you CP?
Oh, my God.
But, yeah.
Chad, I ain't gonna lie to you. Hearing Diddy, I realized my nickname for women are too respectful. This nigga calling his hoes crack pipes, syringe. He's calling him a roach. Like he's calling them just drug paraphernalia. Nah, Diddy's a goat. I'm realizing I'm too respectful. Imagine the affectionate name for your girl is, yo, you my crack pipe. Holy.
Or should I call you CP?
CP, crack pipe. Bumbleclot.
But, yeah, I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like so much fucking fun. So much fucking fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. Mwah. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract. Find a nice little spot. Put your mind at ease. And yeah, I had a great time. And I really want you to get some rest. I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up a second. All right, get some rest, baby. Love.
Now, what that shows, it shows that Diddy cared. Oh, shit, I know you were throwing up. Damn, get some rest, okay? Because, again, remember when Jane Doe testified, she was making it sound heartless. Like, Diddy was just like, remember she said she threw up and blah, blah, and Diddy told her, all right, go back out there and suck some more dick. What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like Michael Jordan with the flu game. You know what I mean? Like, all right, cool, you good? I bet. What's your temperature? 107. All right, nigga, yo, put some ice on that nigga. Cool him down real quick. Yo, get back up in the game, gang. Like, we got to win this shit. That's crazy, right? Ooh, I didn't look at all these yet. All right, that's from last week. Yeah, I like the audios. Pause. These are exhibits. Anything else in here? Nah, it's only exhibits we got. I need to hear some more audio. Pause.
Hey, baby, we had a great time.
Fuck. I'm going to try to get some more audio for y'all. So anyway, let me get back to this. I'm going to go pick up my other coffee, okay? See my voice sound a little bit better? We good. We locked in 7 hours today. Hold up.
You know, right now on the stand, yesterday they had some paralegal. They had some paralegal get on the stand, and all the paralegal did was take all of these, she created a flowchart of text messages between Puffy and Cassie and the male escort, Jane Doe and Cassie, Jane Doe and KK, Puffy. We already did that, man. We already did this, man. We already did this. But I'm glad they brought this back up, because I had gotten lost in the buffoonery that's going on. That there's a problem with the YouTubers. One YouTuber finna jump on another one down here. You know, all kind of stuff going on. One dude saying something to another dude. You know what I'm saying? The girl, one YouTuber got in another dude's Instagram live, and the Instagram live dude was like, yo, I didn't say, yo, it's all kind of stuff going on, man. It's all kind of stuff going on. But I don't get involved. I don't get involved with none of that. I don't get involved with none of that. I don't even speak to nobody.
Okay, I'm trying to see the argument. Okay, Chad, let's figure this out. Because it's the last week of trial, or not like last week of the government's case in this trial, every day gives Friday vibes, because it's like not much there. We're gonna get to Brendan Paul, but it's not much there. Okay. Chat, when we get to jury deliberation, it's gonna be crazy. Give me a second. Okay, I do want to see. Fuck. Here we go.
Okay, here we are. Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press. Here, midday. It's Tuesday, June 17th, day 25 of Sean Combs. And things have kind of bogged down here. Mostly, in fact, all this morning, the special agent, first on direct and now on cross, although most of the cross seems to be showing Freakoff videos with headphones on for the jury and the screens all turned off for the public. Not that we want to see it, of course.
Oh, so they're showing the sex tapes now. Now, remember, when the actual victims were on the stand, they didn't really show them. And you got to remember, if they showed them, the witness would have to watch them. And I think they're not trying to re-victimize like Cassie or Jane Doe, but they have the videos. But they're now trying to put them in And here's the thing. They've heard the narrative about them. The women say, hey, I didn't want to do it. But obviously Diddy's situation is saying, yo, this was just some freak shit we did. And, these women are on the videos having fun. Now, we don't know what these videos look like. And this is where we're going to have to wait for these videos to, these jurors to later on tell us. Obviously, we don't care about the details. Like, yeah, he whipped his dick out, dick slapped her 13 times. But what is the demeanor on these videos? Is Cassie like fucking squirting up a mile? Is Cassie just like in complete ecstasy, like showing I love you, like this is what I love to do? Now, granted, some of this stuff might be drugged up, so you never know. But I'm wondering how these videos look. I'm wondering if Cassie's body language, Jane Doe's body language while this is happening is kind of like, and again, it's not about the freak videos, chat. I'm saying if their body language in the videos is saying, I'm just doing it because I have to, that might ring a bell for the jurors who are saying, wow. Like, I could tell when somebody's into something and when somebody's doing it because they feel they got no choice. That might affect Diddy in a negative way. Now, if the thought is, oh, okay, they're having a lot of fun. Oh, shit. Look at the demeanor here. This seems like a fun environment. Yes. Is it alcohol or drug infused? Yes. But this doesn't look like, oh, you're forcing someone to do something. And also, what might be, again, I'm just thinking if I was a juror, I think you guys would think the same if you're a juror. How intoxicated are these people? Are we looking at Cassie's face and she's out of it? She's basically blacked out, right? That's a thing, right? You're like, whoa. Yeah, these videos, we hear what Diddy's saying, but like Shorty looked blacked out. She looked like she's going through the motions. Remember, Cassie said, I had to take drugs to do this. Now, if she's blacked out, she's just kind of like going through it, not really expressive. Diddy said, yo, suck that dick. Yo, suck the balls. Yo, whatever he's saying to her, and she's just kind of going through it, and you could tell she's a little out of it. That might look crazy for Diddy, right? Because now it goes to a narrative that Diddy got these people out of their minds to create some weird fetish that was pretty much commercial sex acts that pretty much is sex trafficking. But if these people are completely with it, which, by the way, we've heard about Cassie setting up these wild king, well, she called them freak-offs, or they called them freak-offs, and Jane Doe setting up these wild king nights, as they called it, or hotel nights. So before this shit starts, it seems like they're participating, right? Because they're getting supplies. I got to go get my nails done for the wild king night. Oh, I got to go do this. I got to go get my hair done, whatever, right? Jane Doe talked about looking good for Diddy during these nights. However, if in the actual video, she's just like, just going through the motions, I ain't gonna lie, Diddy's gonna look crazy. Sorry.
Maybe the prosecutors opened the door to this by having the case turn on it. I'm not.
Somebody says Ak is obsessed with what Diddy does. Oh my God. Brother, we're covering a sex fucking case. You have to understand, the jury's about to see videos. They haven't seen them they've seen stills of them. They've heard some audio. They haven't watched the Freakoff videos till now. They weren't going to put them on when the victims are on the stand. That's re-victimizing a alleged victim. So what I'm telling y'all, if you heard, like, brother, get your mind out of the fucking gutter, brother. If you heard that somebody got raped and it's on motherfucking camera and you could watch the video, granted, you're not there, you're going to look for certain things. Is she saying no? Clearly in this situation, they all said they never said no. Not in the moment. So you're looking for little subtle signs. Like, I'm thinking as we're a juror, you're probably saying, does she look a little hesitant? Does she look out of it? Does she look drugged? Does she look scared? Brother, these are not like, this is a fucking sex case. Whoever says I'm obsessed with whatever Diddy does. I don't give a fuck what Diddy does. He's a fucking bati boy. You get what I'm saying? The point is to try to explain what's happening right now is that they're watching Freakoff videos. And as a juror, what I would be looking for, does this woman look like she's in her right mind? She's making her own decisions. She's like completely complicit. Does she look like she's scared? Does she look like she's enjoying it? Like, you have to look at these things. What do you think they're looking at the videos for? To see how long Diddy's dick is? What the fuck? That's the point.
Not sure how much of it turns on it, but the defense has every right to cross-examine, and so that's what they're doing. They say they have another hour to go. So
here's the thing too. Remember, Diddy's team came out before and he said, yo, we have many videos that show Cassie having a lot of fun. Now, that's subjective, Chad. Someone having a lot of fun in a sexual experience, but they said this before trial, that in the videos, the Freakoff videos the government were trying to present, they said Cassie was elated and having the most fun. So I have to imagine they're going to counter, they're going to cross, right, with trying to have some videos of Cassie seemingly taking charge, Cassie seemingly making most of the decisions, Cassie seemingly almost trying to paint it like that's Cassie's king too, you know? Same thing with Jane Doe.
It appears that we might not actually, this long-promised Brendan Paul witness, if anything, will start just very briefly today. And does this mean the government can rest on Wednesday? Unclear. But what we can say is as follows, that before court this morning, Judge Subramanian, very upset about some reporting about another juror issue. And again, here's what I can say. We've gone out of our way ever since various threats made about an exhibit they showed about Mia, other issues around the...
Yeah, so there was an issue that got brought up. We never really touched on it too much. So in one of the exhibits they showed, remember these people have pseudonyms. Mia, pseudonym. Jane Doe, pseudonym. Cassie's going by her real name. So in the exhibits you put out, Cassie's face could be shown. But with Mia, you can't show her face. So remember when they admitted that video of Mia where she says, "Happy birthday, Puff." And she's like, remember? Sarah Snedker, Diddy, happy birthday. This video right here. Apparently, because it was so choppy on how this got done, this supposedly got entered. It was supposed to be under seal. It's supposed to be under seal. It wasn't really under seal, or I don't know if it was classified, but it was a mistake. But supposedly this was put in a docket that showed her face. It defeats the whole purpose of her going by the name Mia. So this video was shown or available to the press as her face, where, yes, you could see these people, there's nothing blocking her face in court, but you cannot report on it and they won't put it in the docket as these people. It's got to be under seal. So this got fucked up and it was this video.
Shameless plug. Gotta put my lip gloss on. Poppin'! Puff Daddy, the living legend himself. You have not only revolutionized the game, but the entire world. I'm so blessed to call you my friend. Thank you for truly being one of the biggest inspirations in my life. To another 44 years of brilliance. Let's fuck shit up.
Okay. Now, that's one of the videos that caused problems with the pseudonym thing. Also, there's been alleged rumors that there's bloggers in court that's leaving court and texting other people who these people who have pseudonyms are, right? And they're alluding to them. I won't mention necessarily the names of these bloggers that are supposedly there, but they're saying that, right? And then also they said people found out online. They might be talking about maybe even our broadcast. We don't know. But they're trying to protect these people as much as they can.
The gender of Jane's child. Now, so we're not getting into this whole juror, other than Juror 6, of course, on which we'll have more. Of course, we did report. He was a Department of Corrections employee. This is all public. It's a public trial. So, again, I don't know. I'm not sure what's accomplished by not being at least transparent on what the issues are. If not, obviously, we don't have the names of the jurors, and we don't want the names of the jurors. I don't know.
So they got rid of Juror 6 because they lied that they lived in the Bronx, but apparently they stayed with their girl in Jersey. They said that was enough to get him off. Diddy's team is mad because they're like, yo, that's a black juror. We need that black juror. They're like, listen, lack of candor issues, we got to get him out of there. Diddy's team said, okay, if you're going to get him out of there, we need a black juror to replace. The judge said, I can't make the decision based on race because previously you said that race wasn't a thing when we had a balanced juror. So we're going to get the first alternate. The first alternate's not black. So the person who got eliminated, the first alternate takes their place. They're not black. However, there's now more issues, and apparently this is with Juror 7. So there's another issue with another juror, and there's potentially 2 more other jurors. Well, not 2 more, 1 more. So it would be 2 other jurors other than 6 who got eliminated. that there's potential issues with, and you have to understand what's happening here, chat. It's coming down to the wire, and each team, as I said, they have people that they're paying to watch these jurors the entire trial, and they're trying to get either a conviction or a acquittal, and they realize who the problematic people are, and the prosecution got a win by getting one of the jurors that could have sided maybe for Diddy off the jury box or out of the jury box. Now Diddy's team is like, okay, shit, we got to try to get one of them that might not be for us out of there too. So they're playing like this chess game, you know?
Seems to breed more.
But the judge, they're doing it in chambers and in the robing room, and they're not saying what the fuck the issues are. So they're not like spelling out the issues that we fully know.
Kind of.
They'll come in court later on and just have like a final hearing.
Conspiracy theories than it just being transparent would. But that's how it goes. Look, we have the walk. This is gonna be an extended vlog because we have an extended lunchtime in the middle of an extended video session there in the Southern District of New York. Brendan Paul should go. Then they have yet another summary witness, which I'm sure is going to be cross-examined in excruciating detail by the defense. As well they should. Now, supposedly the defense case is going to be much shorter than they'd said, or than some had surmised. Definitely doesn't seem that the defendant himself will take the stand, although he retains that right to the very last minute. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Chinatown. Very glad to be out of the court after kind of a thing. There are other things going on.
Okay, I want to get to this. I want to get to this argument. I can't see it. Okay. Jury not brought in. There's a second jury issue. Anything before bring the jurors in. Let Combs in. I believe your client would like 10 minutes to review materials. Can I ask him that question? So Mr. Combs waives his right to be present for the immunity application. So they bring Brendan Paul in. And Brendan Paul takes a stand. He said, did you receive a subpoena? Yes. Do you intend to invoke the Fifth Amendment right? He says yes. So he's given an immunity. The judge says, I'll enter it. Thank you, Mr. Paul. So Mr. Paul now has immunity. And they're going to bring Penland on. But we don't see much from Inner City Press about this idea that there's this drama, which is what's going on with the jury or the judge reaming out the prosecutors or the defense for leaking certain shit. So let me see, Lauren Conlin. Maybe Lauren Conlin got it. Okay, she's here.
It is day 26 of the United States versus Sean Combs, and the judge is not very happy today. We started the day off by the judge really admonishing both the defense and the government over sealed information that was somehow leaked to the press. We don't know exactly what this information is. I have a feeling that it has to do with the second juror. There seemed to be a second juror issue that was not relayed to the press at all. It was discussed in the robing room in private. And I think there was a media outlet that put out an article about this. Now, I don't know for sure that this is the issue. I am just speculating. So hopefully we will find out. But
okay, that would make sense. So they're having these like ex parte, well, not ex parte because all the parties are present, but it's outside of the court, so it's not on the record. And actually, there is a record of it, but it's not on public record, at least at this point. Because even if I don't know if you guys know, even when they meet in the chambers, the court reporter has to be there. So the court reporter is always there when they're talking. The court reporter is going to take notes of what's being talked about. It's not going to be filed. So you have Diddy's lawyers. Sometimes you'll have Diddy. You'll have the judge. You'll have the prosecutor. And in this case, sometimes you might even have the juror. If the juror's there, they won't have Diddy there, but they'll have his lawyers. But they won't tell us what it is. Let's see what media outlet. Maybe it's TMZ. I think it's TMZ. Let's look at TMZ. Diddy juror. Here we go. Is it this? Yes, this is yesterday. Diddy try. Sources with direct knowledge tells us. Oh, okay. It's definitely them. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the juror alerted the court on Friday about the text message and a phone number. He didn't recognize him, asking if he was juror 6, who'd already been in the news as someone the judge might dismiss. we told this other juror wanted the judge to know about the mysterious text. And indeed, Judge Submaranian had a lot of questions about him for the message and the phone number which it came from. Our sources say although the juror did not recognize the number, the judge has concerns he might be discussing the trial with people who aren't on the jury. So basically, there's another juror, it's not juror 6, he got dismissed. He gets a text message saying, yo, bro, you on the jury, ain't you? He brings this to the court's attention. But of course, like Randall from Recess, sometimes when you start volunteering information, they start looking at you weird. So they're like, wait, why would they want to text you? How do they know you're in a thing? Are you been talking to people? Here's the thing. That was a private conversation. I was in the Robin room with Diddy's lawyers and prosecutors that were present. They were talking to the juror. How did this get out to people? How did this get out to TMZ? Either Diddy's team or the Fed's team, right, put this out. While Judge Submaranian has not sequestered the jury, by the way, when he sequesters them, they cannot go home. They will go to a specific place to rest, but they cannot go back to their residence, okay? They get to go home every day up until now. They've been instructed not to discuss the case with anyone or read any news about it, okay? So it says someone getting called into the principal's office. When it's all said and done, there's a second alternate juror that might be called to decide Diddy's fate. So here's the thing. How did this was a private meeting. Court reporter, Diddy's lawyers, prosecutors, juror, judge. How did they find out? Somebody leaked it to TMZ. I think it's a prosecutor. Here we go.
He was not happy, and he said it potentially could be a contempt issue. So we'll see what happens. But this will most likely be brief as well, because we've spent most of the day, or we have spent actually the day so far on Agent Pendler, who is the special agent for the government. And she finished her direct examination, and we went over, let's see, more travel itinerary for Jules Theodore, who was one of the escorts. This is August of 2009. We saw an LA to NYC flight itinerary, London hotel reservations, and then we saw all of these charges on Diddy's Amex pertaining to this one trip and the flights, etc. And his bill, I didn't mention this yesterday, but they said a lot of his monthly bills, or they showed us his monthly bills, and his monthly bills range from $218,000 to almost $1 million. It was like $989,000, and this is all on one Amex. Then we got to September 2014, where we saw Clayton Howard, aka Dave, that's another escort, his flights and hotel records. And this was a flight from JFK in New York to LA. He stayed at the Four Seasons, and we saw the room reservation, Frank Black, everything that has corroborated what we've seen before. And for this, then there was another trip that they mentioned in July, and this was Jules flying from LA to New York, and we saw that he stayed in a hotel near the Hamptons. It was actually Riverhead, which I was wow, I'm like, Riverhead, which is not quite the Hamptons. Riverhead is kind of near the North Fork, and they put him up at a Hilton Garden Inn. And they made sure the government made sure to say, okay, Riverhead, that's near where? Long Island. And the Hamptons are where? Long Island. So maybe hinting that he was there for a summer Diddy party. Who knows? And then we saw an invoice from the La Hermitage Hotel, where we saw damages that were charged to Diddy's Amex for the carpet and the drapes, about $500. And okay, I didn't have a chance to ask any other reporters in the room this, but I could have sworn I saw an Intercontinental New York charge for damages for $46,000. Now, I feel like maybe I read this wrong because nobody seemed fazed by this. So I'm like, did I get this information wrong? I'm going to have to go back and see, but I swear I saw a $46,000 damage charge, and this was this was October 2012, and this was the same month that Diddy's Amex, his bill for that month was $944,000.
What? Oh, Diddy got bread. Diddy got bread. Chat, is there something clinically wrong with me that even in the middle of a sex trial, I'm still pocket watching? I'm like, because for me, I'm like, how much money did this nigga have to keep all this shit going? His Amex bill? $900,000 for the month?
I didn't have a chance to ask any other reporters in the room this, but I could have sworn I saw an intercontinental New York charge for damages for $46,000. Now, I feel like maybe I read this wrong because nobody seemed fazed by this. So I'm like, did I get this information wrong? I'm going to have to go back and see, but I swear I saw a $46,000 damage charge. And this was this was October 2012.
Why was there a $46,000 damage charge by Diddy? Hold on, let's figure this out, chat. I gotta see what Diddy was paying for. Diddy 46. I'm searching the amount. Let's see. Oh, wait, here we go. 46. What did 46 at? It's a traveler invoice. What are these Amex charges? Okay, hold on. We could probably figure it out. Okay, there's a fine, $500 for drapes. Okay, here we go. What's this? Booking for the Intercontinental Hotel in Times Square in the name of Frank Black. And this charge, it was damage to the penthouse. $47,000. The monthly bill was paid for by various accounts at Signature Banks. What? 46,000? Chat, we're going to have to read through this. Yeah, like, as much as we love Lauren Conlin, Logic, we need every fucking detail. We won't rest until we get every detail. So we're going to have to read this for ourselves, even though, because I was thinking the summaries were going to be more inclusive of information we might need. No, we need everything. Holy.
And this was the same month that Diddy's Amex, his bill for that month was $944,000 basically. So I will go back and double check on that. But if that is a damage charge, that is insane. So I feel like that can't be right, but I'm throwing it out there just in case you hear it elsewhere. And like I said,
yeah, Inner City Press said it was $46K for the damage to the penthouse. That's what he said. $46K damage to the penthouse. Yeah. Wow.
I will correct myself later on. Okay. Oh, and then I think the biggest part of the morning was these charts and these graphs pertaining to March 5th, 2016. The entire timeline around the LA Intercontinental Hotel with Cassie and the beating. So it basically went from Cassie communicating with Garen from Cowboys and Angels, getting an escort. This is the day of. She's communicating with this escort named Skylar. And then we go through the morning where the late evening to the early morning where he's kind of like, do you need me or do you not need me? And then it kind of skips to Cassie getting a crap ton of missed calls from Diddy. And at this point, the missed calls started around 11:28 a.m. And we know that the beating in the hallway took place, around 11 a.m. So that kind of makes sense. And then we just saw this timeline. We saw the text messages that ensued from there. And then we saw when Christina Coram got involved. And she also was texting another assistant, Eli Marone, to get this footage. He got involved. Then we saw D-Rock get involved. He was texting between KK, Cassie, and Diddy, all these different texts. And then we saw Carrie Morgan get involved because we know that Carrie Morgan was at Cassie's home when Cassie got home from the incident. And at one point we saw a text from Cassie to Christina Coram saying something like, can you tell him to stop? This is around 2:30 p.m. that day because the neighbors are going to call the police. And we had already heard testimony previously about him trying to get into the house with a hammer and the cops being called to her house. And again, just more back and forth where KK begs Cassie to talk to Diddy. She, she sent some texts here and there, but she sent, I don't remember if we saw this one text, but she basically said, I have arguably the biggest night of my career, meaning the Perfect Match premiere. And she said, of my life, and I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking you can do this to me. Please stay away from me. And then later on, I think it was the next morning, the day after, we actually saw a text from Diddy to D-Rock saying, how is she? And I think at this point, Cassie was at D-Rock and his wife April's house, and D-Rock said she's okay, she's eating breakfast, her face don't look bad, she's smiling and laughing, call her. And in between all of this, March 6th is when the calls from Diddy to Eddie Garcia started, the back and forth there. And we went through all of those calls. And then the last call from Sean Combs to Eddie Garcia, kind of closing the loop on this night, was March 25th, 2016, which we know was Easter because he testified that he got a call from him on Easter. Eddie Garcia, I mean. And then Tenny Garrigo started her cross, and I appreciate Tenny's cross because she really sounds like a girlfriend. Like you're just talking to one of your girlfriends, but then she kind of like lays it on. So she was talking to the special.
That's been her style the whole time. Even also Anna Marie Estavio did the same thing. Remember, she notoriously complimented Cassie before exposing her.
Agent, and she's like, so you've been a special agent for 10 years, et cetera, et cetera. Your job is to go through all of these files, ensure accuracy, even though you did not work on this case. Like you were not a part of this task force, you didn't make any arrests, et cetera. And she said, yeah. Well, Tenny points out a part of one of the charts where it shows Cassie's name and Diddy's name everywhere except for this one box, but it kind of insinuates that this one box does involve Cassie and Diddy, and Tenny points it out that during this time, Cassie, it was December 8th, 2015, Cassie was in South Africa. And there were also text messages between Christina Coram and an assistant, I believe was Eli, where she said, they are gone, like you can go clean up the hotel now. And Tenny was just like, so do you know who was with Mr. Combs at the hotel? Did you try to find out? Did you try to do any other research here to find out who quote unquote they is? Or because Cassie's not in the country. And she just said, no, I just looked at the evidence I was given. I didn't do any other digging. And Tenny was like, oh, and you've been a special agent for 10 years? And she's like, yeah. So there was a lot of back and forth about that. And then Tenny played video clips from some of the same videos that they saw yesterday, which were Freakoff videos. Like I said, there was some reactions, but she played different clips. And one of the clips was about 5 minutes long. And during this clip, I actually saw one of the younger female jurors take some notes. Nobody looked disturbed or upset today. We could kind of hear part of the video until one of the, somebody in court, one of the wow, I'm blanking out. One of the federal guys that are in charge, they're just like, yeah, we can hear it. And then all of a sudden they turned it down, or everybody adjusted their headphones and we couldn't hear anything anymore. So yeah, there was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was about seven-ish clips played, but yeah, it did not elicit the same type of reactions.
So 7 Freakoff videos played, the longest being 5 minutes, and apparently no one's like, what the fuck? They could hear it. I wish, again, this is not some freak shit chat. Like, we're covering a sex case, so we got to be a little bit mature. I know we get immature here. I'm wondering what they heard in the gallery. Like, are you just hearing moaning? Are you hearing, like, Diddy speak? Like, what the fuck are you hearing in this Freakoff video? Okay. Like, we won't know. Obviously, we won't know, but.
At all. Oh, and then after all the videos were played, I did see one
Nadia, I see you, girl.
Female juror make a face like this. Like she's kind of thinking. So Tenny will finish her cross later, and then we will get to Brendan Paul. So I will give you an update later on today.
Okay, good. I think we got, is this logic? I'm super low. It's because I'm leaning back. This is how I was leaning back yesterday. I told you what happened yesterday, right? I went live. I leaned back and my foot fucking hit the power button. I got to sit up a little bit more. Okay. Give me 1 second. Somebody said one of those videos will get leaked. Yo, Nadia, you a straight freak, girl. Nadia trying to watch a Freakoff video. All right. We are going to read the morning tweets, but let's just listen to Elizabeth Milner. What did she have to say?
Travel.
Here we go.
As far as because they're.
Here we go.
Because it pretty much this article, and we're not 100% sure where this article came from, but what we believe it might be is having to do with just something that happened during the sealed proceedings that happened on Friday. And so the judge said that someone kind of spilled the beans about what kind of went on when everyone was kind of kicked out of the courtroom for about a 20-minute period. They locked the courtroom doors and everything to kind of have this sealed proceeding as opposed to doing it in the robing room. And so the defense says they recently became aware of this article, and they were adamant that they were not the source of the leak, and then the same with the prosecution. But really, it seemed like the judge was kind of taking issue up specifically with Maureen Comey and Mark Agnifilo because they're the leaders of both sides, right? Maureen Comey representing the prosecution, and then Mark Agnifilo being kind of the leader of the defense team or lead counsel, just on both sides. And so he said, on the extreme side of things, that
this is not a wig. Who says she need a new wig? This is her. I think this is her natural hair, right? Anytime I see wig, I be looking around the edges. Nah, this is her natural hair. Yo, chat, I gotta, leave black women alone, man. I gotta get on my Dr. Umar. She looks fine. Bro, we're not looking at her for baddie vibes, bro. We just want, she talks coherent enough for me. I just want to hear the info. Y'all trying to, get bricked up over Elizabeth Milner, bro? Chill, dog. Just wait for Lauren. Y'all can get bricked up over her. I'm playing.
That someone violated the court's sealing order, but also if they're kind of on notice as far as just finding out who is responsible for this. And they said
it's a little weave. It's okay. She gotta get up every day and go to court. Let her live.
They being the judge said the most extreme kind of action that he could possibly take is criminal contempt charges. So he's taking this very serious, and he seems very, he did seem very kind of annoyed about just this whole leak that had happened. Again, we don't know 100% sure what the article was and verify that this article was the in fact article, but we believe it might have been one that came out just recently from a media outlet talking about what went down during the court proceedings that were sealed or were supposed to be sealed on Friday.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions about that. I mean, you pretty much answered it. We had a question from RSS. Can you ask Elizabeth?
Chat, Elizabeth Milner looks fine. Again, she gives us the information we need. There's so many other people. I know some of y'all in here want to get bricked up at this shit. Y'all see pictures of Cassie, obviously not being sexual, but we look at her Instagram, we look at Jane Doe's Instagram. There's a lot of beautiful other women. If you don't feel she's beautiful, I like the fact that she talks very coherently. I get what she's saying. I get her POV. I think Lauren is beautiful as well, but she also talks coherently. That's it, brother. How y'all want to get bricked up at every female? God damn it.
Be watching, and what's the reaction to watching these tapes?
Somebody said Law and Crimes hates Diddy. Do you think their POV is anti-Diddy? That's kind of interesting. Unc is pro-Diddy. Do you think I think Law and Crimes might be a little bit anti, right? Where do you think Lauren falls? Do you think Lauren is anti-Diddy or pro-Diddy?
Yeah, so they have been watching the sexually explicit tapes, the Freakoff tapes that had happened whenever Diddy was in a relationship with Cassie Ventura. And they were kind of bringing it out in correlation to the text message exhibits that we saw. And we were kind of like, where is this kind of going? And I think it might be the kind of show possibly, and just another way that Cassie might have been in control during these particular tapes. And it was played kind of a lot today. And so what happens inside the courtroom is that all the jurors wear headphones, so we're not able to see this or hear this on the open speakers. The exhibit where the gallery is kind of shown these exhibits, the exhibit screen, I should say. Sorry, everyone, if I'm talking too fast. I had too much Celsius during one of the breaks because it was one of those days. But as far as just the jury's reaction to everything, they have been very professional as far as just kind of watching these really kind of graphic and sexually explicit videotapes. But I will say there was this one juror on the end, and I think he was the same juror that was moved from an alternate to now being kind of one of the main jurors.
Okay, and I know I told you guys to lean out of this, but am I the only person? There's an attractive trait about every woman for me is seeing them maybe I'm too indoctrinated and I see modern women talk like Sexy Red. I just think that's so disgusting. That's part of the reason I don't like women from New York. Women from New York sound like men. Women, I'd rather them either sound sexy or intelligent. I love an intelligent woman. Like, that's half the reason why I like Lauren. And also, I like this girl, too, because she seems intelligent. Even if her POV don't agree with mine. I like women who could speak. You feel what I'm saying? Like, speak, motherfucker. Yo, you ever been around a chick and you're like, just shut up, yo, please. Every time she opens her mouth, you're like, oh. I like intelligent women.
I should say. I will say it seemed like he couldn't take his headphones off fast enough in terms of just, they were playing these videos kind of at 2-minute increments or 3-minute increments, which is a long time to kind of watch these sexually explicit videos, especially in open court. But I did see him kind of take his headphones off pretty quickly, thinking that it was over. Then Tenny Garagos was like, okay, on to the next one. And it just seemed like it was played for a long duration of time. To me, it felt like forever. To them, it might have been just like 20 or 30 minutes. But for the most part, they kind of had no reaction beyond just kind of, I think, wanting it to be over. And then they went to lunch break. So it's a great way to introduce.
Okay, chat. Let me read through this morning text, and then we're going to have to get to the afternoon. But it looks like if I don't read through this, we're going to miss out on certain things. And again, you know, I know you guys really trust me with getting you every ounce of detail. And I do think we do a pretty good, complete job of getting all the information here. So I'm going to make sure we don't skip or cut corners. I don't care if it's uneventful day. Okay, so it starts off, look like what we do miss is this reaming out by the judge. So the judge gets mad at both sides saying, yo, one of y'all is leaking info. How the hell did my private meeting with y'all and the juror get put out by a news outlet, which we now believe is TMZ? You guys can be the judge on who does it, right? All pun intended. And so basically, they give Brendan Paul immunity. So he's supposed to take the stand. He's supposed to take the stand at the end of today. But for now, we're going to have this guy back on, or I think it's a guy. It's actually Agent Penland. Is Penland a guy or a girl? It might be. I don't know. Anyway, so they bring Diddy in. Diddy actually waived his right to be there to watch Brendan Paul take immunity. Remember, Brendan Paul was the guy who was boarded the private jet with the drugs for Diddy. So Diddy's actually reviewing some materials in the back. He didn't come out yet. He requested via the marshals, hey, give me a second. I'm looking at these things before you bring me out. They give immunity to Brendan Paul. Then he comes out. Juror comes out. Penland comes out. That's the witness. And here we go. So it's all rise. Juror enters. So it's a good morning. Let's get back to the London hotel. Who stayed there on this day? They're showing random days. Penland says, this is Sean Combs, Cassie, and Jules, okay? They said, what are these Amex charges? They said, that's Virgin America. That's a plane ticket for Jules. Remember, this is a summary witness that's trying to help prove that this was pretty much an organization. It's an enterprise, right? And it's definitely sex trafficking because you're going to show travel records going from state to state to state. What airline is associated with this charge? American Airlines from JFK to LA. And the hotel, Four Seasons, for Clayton Howard, a.k.a. Dave. AUSA says, let's look at 6T108. What is this? So this is a travel invoice. Bad Boy Entertainment. So what is this? So this is a flight for Jules. What's this payment method? The Amex. So I know we all clown Dirk for running everything up on the OTF business card, even though he told him, don't charge none on my card. But it appears that Diddy was running it up on the Bad Boy card, the Amex, okay? Whose name is this invoice in? Mr. Philip Pines. This is a $500 charge for the damage to the drapes. What do y'all think happened to the drapes? Do you think that Diddy or the sex worker came on the drapes or squirted baby oil or Astroglide? Like, why would the drapes be fucked up? Whatever. So what is this? This is a booking for the Intercontinental in Times Square. The name is Frank Black. What's this charge? There was damage to the penthouse. $47,000 paid on the Amex. The monthly bill was paid by various accounts at Signature Bank. What's this charge? This is the hotel in Riverhead. They said, well, where's that? Long Island, New York. They said, is that where the Hamptons is? Agent says, yes. He said, these communications, what's that? It's between Cassie and Sean Combs. It's color-coded. So what's this? They said, this is a call from Combs to Cassie for 41 seconds. Let's read it. Skylar, can you come later? Penland says, let's do Skylar. Then Skylar responds to Ventura. Go to slide 4, please. Skylar texts Ventura, what area? So Skylar might be a prostitute, right? Then Skylar responded, is Skylar a male name or is that a female name? Huh? I'm laying down. Hit me up if we're getting together. So what do these box show? 3 photos taken by Ventura. What day is this? March 6th, 2016. This is right after the beatdown. Walk us through it. Combs calls Ventura. No answer. Ventura texts Combs, says, I checked with security. Jules left. You're good as long as you don't bother the other guests. So basically, Diddy was hitting her up, panicking like, yo, I'm about to get arrested. I'm about to get arrested. And I got to be honest, even though I know some of y'all, again, of course, I think Cassie wanted to get some money, 2023. But I do think that during, and this is why I disagree with a lot of y'all, that Cassie did love Diddy. After the beatdown she got, when Diddy was expressing her, blowing her phone up like, yo, I'm going to get arrested, she assures him and calms him down. Yo, Jules left. He's cool. Da-da-da-da. I'm not pressing no charges. Just don't wild out no more. And you can still stay at the hotel and just don't bother no more guests. You're fine, right? So, it said, what Combs texts Ventura? He texts, call me. The cops are here. Then a call connects. So it shows Cassie definitely didn't want Diddy to get locked up. Got to say, hey, as much as you want to say whatever about her, she had loved that man, right? In my opinion. You could say differently. Ventura makes a call to D-Rock. It connects. Combs called Ventura. No answer. Said, what day was that? Then the day before, March 5th, it says, I guess it was the day it happened. It says, you're sick to think it's okay to do what you've done. Please stay away from me. I have a premiere. AUSA says, what does Combs text Ventura? He texts, call me, help. Remember, this is him saying, help. He texts, help, I'm about to get arrested. Then, if you don't pick up, you'll never hear my voice again. Then what happens? There was a call that wasn't answered. Then Christina Karam calls Cassie. Penland says, Ventura calls D-Rock. Then Karam, the call connects. So what does D-Rock text? D-Rock texts, tell him to get out of there before they arrest him. He's not picking up. So what does Ventura text to Combs? She says, I'm going to bed. AUSA says, now what? What did, I guess this is Kerry Morgan. What Kerry Morgan texts Karam? Kerry says, I don't think anyone should call her. And a photo they text her a photo of a LAPD detective business card. So what next? Both of them call her. So they tell her best friend says, don't call her. They both call her. Okay, remember, they're trying to make sure Cassie does not press charges on Diddy, right? D-Rock calls, Karam asks, what is Eddie's last name? Remember, Eddie Diaz, right? I think that's his name, is the guy who, remember, they're trying to pay off. The guy gets $100,000. Flores is a guy who, I guess he thought it was too good for the bread. He turned the money down. The other guy, he gets the bread, right? What did D-Rock text Combs? Yo, Cassie's good. She's eating breakfast. They have a 13-minute call, which is Cassie and Diddy. So what did Mr. Nash, which is Deontay Nash, that's the assistant, write to Ventura? What time can you today? Arturo is available 3 to 4. Ventura says, Rock's place? Now, I don't know if that's like a makeup person. We don't know yet. Okay. Combs called Eddie Garcia. Garcia calls back. Remember, that's the person they pay off $100,000. What did Ventura text? She texts, this was supposed to be a big day for me. Now I wish I could just stay in bed. And here, apparently there's calls between Diddy and Eddie Garcia. He's talking to him saying, we got to make this go away. We got to get me the video. Delete it. I got that money. So what's this? Remember, Garcia had to send a picture of his license and also the license of the first security guard who wouldn't delete it. But he didn't send a picture of the first security's license. He sent the picture of another person's license because he realized the first dude, he was square. So he didn't want to get him back involved now that he's taking the money. The first guy turned the money down. He's too square. By the way, that guy now is a cop. The other security guard is like, shit, we taking this $100,000. He had asked his boss. His boss said, oh, shit, we going to run up that $100,000. And they're like, yo, but he wants my license, your license, and he wants the first guy license. They're like, we can't bring in the first guy on this deal. Let's cut this other nigga in and give his license. Okay? All right. So they get a photo of the license, da-da-da. Now by March 16, what happens? Combs called Eddie. Remember, he called Eddie and he was just like, yo, bro, you're my angel. He had said something like that. You're my angel. That's what Diddy said to Eddie. You're my secret angel or something like that. March 25th, 1 p.m., Combs called Eddie again. And said, Agent Penland says, what about these other charges? Did you have an involvement in any case? Nope. No further questions. So AUSA is off. They come back from the break. The judge says, Penland, get back on here. The jury, get in here. Gara goes, she's doing it. It says, you've been at the SDNY for 10 years, right? Penland says, yes. Let's turn to this date. Did you know that Ms. Ventura was in South Africa then? No. What about this date to this date? Did you try to find who else was in this chat? No. But you're a special agent, right? Yeah. As a special agent, you know how to look for evidence? Objection. Sustained. Let's turn to August 2009 under the name Sean Combs. You have several U.S. exhibits. Let's pull up this one. August 5th, 2009. Combs says, when do you want to freak off, LOL? What does Miss Ventura say? I'm always ready to freak off. Whoa. Garrigo says, let's put up this defense exhibit. Miss Ventura writes, I'm so horny I can't concentrate. I'm going to Dwayne Reed. Pack us a bag. Did you include this in your chart? No, I did not. So they're trying to show that this chart is biased. Cassie was oftentimes happy for the freak off, requesting a freak off, saying she's going to get ready for the freak off. They never put it in this summary chart. Remember, this is a summary witness to sum it all up. But because they're agents, they're not going to put in nothing that makes Diddy look good. So what about this? Garrigo says, Jules writes to Combs, I need rest. You guys are rabbits, LOL, right? So, god damn, how much fucking are they doing that the sex worker's saying, I need a break. I need a fucking break. The sex worker texts Diddy, y'all are like rabbits. I need a fucking break. Penland says, yes. Garrigo says, here, pop. Pop writes to Ventura. So that's Diddy to Cassie. I love you so much. You consume my life. How did this happen? Ventura says, I wonder that too, right? Yep. Garrigo says, here Jules writes to Ventura. Great to see you, beautiful. And then I'm at your door, right? Penland says, correct. Garrigo says, here Miss Ventura write, I'm horny and I'm bored, right? Yes. Garrigo says, what about this? Mr. Combs says to Ms. Ventura, I'm not asking you for a freak off. What do you want to do? What did she say? She said, I want to smoke, go for a walk. Let's go out, have some carefree fun. I'll go get some Valium. That's what it says, right? Agent says, yes. Garrigo says, Mr. Combs, right, I liked it when Jules was in the room next door. Did you include this? No, my job wasn't to add things. It was just to check if what was there was correct. Okay, cool. Garrigo says, Mr. Combs wrote, you horny or sleepy? What did she write? Agent says, both, LOL. So Cassie was with it. Garrigo says, let's shut off the public screens for a second. Let's show these Freakoff videos. They shut it off. They're showing Freakoff videos. And so everyone's hearing soothing piano music, right? So they start playing. Remember they used to do white noise? They do white noise for the sidebars. But now the Freakoff videos is happening. It's probably sounding like National Geographic up in there. You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's a Freakoff video. Jurors still watching the videos with headphones on. Garrigo says, for the record, Ms. Foster had put it on until minute 14. Cool. Your Honor, should we take our break? How much longer? An hour. I took longer than, and said, all right, now then. Okay, so they have a break. They come back from the break. Garrigo, so you ready to proceed? Garrigo says, as soon as Mr. Combs is out. They bring Mr. Combs from the holding cell. It says, you are conferred about this other matter, right? AUSA says the court can question the juror. We defer. Shapiro says we prefer in the courtroom to the robing room so Mr. Combs could observe. It's all right, we'll get Penland back. Witness retake the stand, all rise. They're watching another exhibit. Garrigo says, this is a stipulation that the video was found under Frank Black's profile on the device provided by Cassie Ventura. Here, Mr. Combs write, coming to New York City. What does Mr. Combs, Ms. Ventura reply? It's really nice here. So remember, if you're wondering what part of the testimony is this is a summary witness, a case agent that went over this stuff to make sure it was accurate. That's what was found on the phones. Anything in the chart or the transcript that they're going to say in court is actual to what's on the device, that someone can't say you misquoted, So they put together these charts to help the prosecution, the AUSAs, to summarize the case. And Diddy's lawyers are coming back to say, yeah, you're summarizing the case, but why you ain't put this other stuff in there that could summarize it, that Diddy is innocent. Cassie's saying she horny. She always down to freak off. She's this, she's that. Why are you not putting that in there? So since you ain't put it in there, let me ask you if these things are accurate. And the case agent has to, because they swore that they went through the case and they reviewed all the evidence and verified that it was accurate. So even if it's not in their chart, they got to say, hey, is this accurate? Yes. Okay, read it. And they have to read, It's Really Nice here by Cassie, right? Garrigo says, Mr. Combs, right, I got ticks for us for the Book of Mormon. Why you didn't put that in the exhibit? It said, yeah, it's not in there. Garrigo says, he writes, you ready for tonight? That's the day before these videos that we looked at, right? Agent says, correct. Garrigo says, if we could pull up what's already in evidence, page 18, please, right? Why you ain't include this in your chart? Yeah, I didn't include it. Cassie writes, I keep having sexy flashbacks of yesterday. Did you see that? She says, yes. Garrigo says, what did Miss Ventura write? Penland says, she writes, I bought the best sexy outfits for later. And shoes. Wow, okay. What did she write after that? She writes, I promise. So this is Cassie. Cassie said, I promise I will be the nastier freak bitch to make up for it. So this is how Cassie was talking to Diddy. Garrigo says, what does Miss Ventura write here? Penland says, she writes, I can't buy Astroglide. It's too expensive. When should I take it? Where is it? Wait, Astroglide is too expensive? Huh? Garrigo says, Mr. Combs right. It's in the bag. It's the orange pill. Okay. All right. We getting up there, Chad. Garrigo says, what does Miss Ventura write here? She writes, I can't wait till we have a... Oh, there we go. There we go. I told you it's always a baby. Cassie says, I can't wait until we have a baby. Chat, remember my theory? That baby Diddy had with Dana Tran hurt it really, I keep telling you, Young Miami fucked up the whole thing, but the baby was number 2. When they see Diddy had a baby, remember these chicks, all they wanted was a baby. I ain't gonna lie to you, chat, I almost blocked like 5 hoes yesterday. This is TMI. On Sunday, I mean. Was that Father's Day? I had a couple bitches text me happy Father's Day. I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of my phone. Happy Father's Day. Blocked. Get out of here, man. Tell me no fucking happy Father's Day. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no fucking kids. Fuck you tell me happy Father's Day for. So anyway, but that's manipulation. Anytime I see a chick start texting happy Father's Day, that's manipulation, okay? So Cassie would text Diddy, happy Father's Day. I can't wait till we have a baby. We have a baby. I told you, chat. She was working hard for that kid. She was working hard for that baby batter. For real. She just wanted Diddy to leave one in her. I told y'all, if Diddy had gotten her pregnant, no lawsuit. None, not one. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody said, accurate, probably a father. Don't worry, I'm going to have my Drake reveal soon. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you soon, but not yet. Anyway. Oh, man. Okay. Garrigo says, Mr. Combs right. What do you want to do, baby? She writes, I wish we could have freaked off before you left. Garrigo says, what does Miss Ventura write? She writes, I hate that I don't use protection when I get high. I'm going to get tested. Wow. You see how they elicited that? Like it was her decision. She says when she gets high, she don't want to fuck with condoms. Fuck a condom. That goes against the government's case saying Diddy forced her to fuck men without a condom. She's admitting, when I get high, I don't want no condoms involved. Let's do it raw. So she says, I'm going to get tested. Garrigo says, Mr. Combs right. Let's freak off now. What does she write? She writes, okay, what hotel? Holy. Holy. It's getting out of hand, Chad. It's getting out of hand. Hold on.
Them to lunch, right, Jesse?
Right, I was just thinking that. That's, not the most
The story of Akadon? Oh, y'all crazy.
appealing thing before you go off to lunch. But look, this is a tough case. Tough case to sit on and a tough case to hear all this evidence. Okay, Got a question from Shady Goat. Is Diddy looking concerned in court, or is he his usual arrogant, smug self at the moment?
I wouldn't say arrogant and smug. I will say that from what I've seen of him, it seems like he is kind of wanting to know what the jury's reaction is to seeing these, what we believe to be the Freakoff tapes, the sexually explicit tapes. I did see him kind of looking over to the jury box, maybe to see what their reaction is to seeing these play, especially for the duration and the amount of time that they were played today. But from what I could see of him, it seemed like, especially as they were kind of wrapping up the direct testimony of Delissa Penland and then going into the cross-examination, he was kind of doing what he normally does, kind of taking everything in. Once they were starting to gear up for the cross-examination by Tinny Garagos, I did see him do kind of the usual thing, passing off notes to his attorneys, that type of sort. But I wouldn't say he's necessarily sitting at the defense table all arrogant and smug. Not at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions about Diddy's demeanor. Alexander Mateo, what is Diddy's demeanor like today, knowing that such graphic videos are being viewed by the jury? Madhavi Dasi, sending warmth from India, asks, what was Diddy's reaction to the judge's question to the defense about information being leaked? So when all that was going on that you mentioned, how was Diddy reacting?
Yeah, so sorry, everyone. There's about to be an ambulance passing. So, Jesse, if you could filibuster for me for like 10 seconds.
I'm going to filibuster. I'm going to filibuster with great comments to you. We got a question, a great comment from El Spelunker who says, Elizabeth fan club in the chat. We got another one who says, this is from Sam. Elizabeth, you have such a calming nature and voice. You need to bring out your own podcast. You are a natural. So look at this. Love for Elizabeth. When the defense was talking about information being leaked, that whole issue at the beginning, what was Diddy doing?
I couldn't get a good gauge on just his reaction to everything. Like, I couldn't tell if he was confused, if he possibly knew about this. And so I couldn't really tell either way just what his reaction truly was. It seemed like everyone was a little on edge this morning when the judge was kind of, and I hate to use the word admonish because a lot of people have been using that word to describe the kind of talk to that the judge was giving both sides this morning.
By the way, have y'all noticed this, chat? Remember the lead, oh my God, fuck. No. Damn.
Tinny Garagos response.
Wait. Fuck. I lost my spot. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Here we go.
Oh, let me bring.
Fortunately, I'm not able to get what their reaction. For the most part, I think it's kind of across board in terms of just how of that kind of type of what they're kind of able to.
It's all good. It's all good. I found it. Don't worry. I'm wired off coffee right now, chat. I'm good. And I ain't drinking no more alcohol because we got to. What time I said I'm streaming today till? 7. So
book travel is not book these hotel rooms. And
have y'all noticed? Check this out. Real talk. Have y'all noticed? Mark Ignifilo is the lead attorney. But I'm going to be honest with you. Other than motions before the jury comes out, the jury has seen the least of him. They've seen more of Brian Steele. Brian Steele has cross-examined multiple witnesses. Nicole Westmoreland, shout out to that beautiful black woman. She's done an amazing job. We obviously know Tenny. Tenny's over there dropping Tenny's moving like Shay Gillichrist, like doing crazy shit, going crazy. She's doing her thing. Obviously, her father is also there watching her. She's doing good. But Mark Ignifilo, and I'm wondering if Diddy may have kept him on as a project manager. Anybody in corporate would know what I'm talking about. You the project manager? You the project manager of the case, but you ain't the litigant. Because I'm going to be honest with you, there's no main witnesses he's taken. He ain't taken none of the main witnesses. We seen Brian Steele. Remember, it was Brian Steele's job to expose a couple people. So I'm wondering, is it because of his previous, remember when he went on the interview and he said, maybe he got the baby oil from Costco, and we're like, oh my God, did he fire this nigga, bro? Please fire him. Come on, you got to get him out of here. He hasn't done much work. Again, he's still the lead. He's dealing with motions, right? He's still dealing with these issues. I'm not saying he's not doing work. He is doing work. But really, his number 2, Tenny, and granted, this is a sex case. So, they usually say in a sex case, it looks way better when a woman is arguing for you than a dude. You know what I'm saying? You have a dude up there like, nah, man, you wanted that dick? Be like, brother, you're creepy too, right? It sounds bad. You wanted that dick? You wanted the freak off? That sounds crazy. Tenny is hitting these chicks with the, come on, girl, you look so pretty. Damn. So So tell me about when like you heard what Milner said. Tenny is talking to these women like they're girlfriends. Like it's like girl talk. You know what I mean? It hits different for the jury. Hits different. So I'm wondering why Mark Ignifalo's role has really got reduced, bro. He's the lead. He gets brought into the roving room. They usually ask him, but Tenny is the one she's really the lead. Anyway, let me just
Supposed to feel new, but it does feel like the same messages that we've seen weeks before or even just recently that are just being shown.